fuck are you talking about?
had the song with Jessie and her original owner. How'd that song go? Whatever. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But did 3 have a song?
I have no idea.
I'm not a big Toy Story guy. I'm just not. I thought 3 was the best one, and that's pretty much all.
Yeah, we know, Todd, you hate Disney. That's fine.
Love Disney. Love Disney.
Name 5 Disney. Go ahead. You have 30 seconds.
Flubber.
Flubber
Part 2.
All right. Don't know if that's real, but I'll give it to you.
Parent Trap.
Okay.
Parent Trap remake.
Sure.
That's it. You got me.
5.
I got 4.
4.
I got 4.
3.
That's
2.
all I got.
Wow. I can't even name 5
I
Disney.
do like gun to his head. Todd immediately went with Flubber.
I was trying to think of like the most ridiculous movies.
Is there a Flubber
I was
2?
thinking of the black
Is
and white
Flubber
one.
2 a real thing?
I don't think so. Maybe I don't know.
I don't think there.
Oh, Herbie the Love Bug.
Is that Disney? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's
Is that live action?
actually, Herbie Fully Loaded is the one with Lindsay Lohan. I don't know.
I was again referring to the black and white one. Yeah, Herbie's Disney.
Cool.
Man, Dom's missing out on some top tier Disney talk.
Is he?
I know.
Is he? Anyways, we had a great show for you tonight. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about Todd's very obscure Disney knowledge. Either way, we have a great episode for you. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself. Some call him Martini Mike, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you tonight?
I keep thinking about it. I know it was a bit, but for you to say name 5 Disney, and he could have just said Toy Stories 1 through 5.
He could have
didn't want to do it. I wanted to go crazy.
He could have said the things that he actually likes, like Coco or Moana.
Oh yeah, listen, those all popped into my head, but I was like, nope.
He wanted deep cuts, and I respect it.
Deep cuts. He could have said Country Bears.
Ooh, true.
Mike, before we let this pass by, do you want any of your PAX East names to stick? Like, do you want Mike Classic or any of these additional mics that popped up to stick as a nickname?
Forgot. Truly don't care because I don't imagine any of them are gonna stick.
I mean, I've called you Mike Classic in like our extended family of the podcast already post PAX, and it kind of bangs over there. Like people were like, "Yeah, fucking Classic Mike's great."
Where did Mike Classic come from? What does that mean?
Because Mike's OG Mike, but there were 3 mics in our like core group. So there was there was Crystal Pepsi Mike, which was not Classic Mike, who was Michael Desir. Then there was then Michael Hyam had some everyone had nicknames. Everyone had like different versions of Michael, but because there was just too many Michaels, so we had to differentiate. So
Mike, you lost out on Crystal Pepsi Mike.
I mean, I like original recipe Mike. I like Classic Mike.
I do too. I like Classic Mike, but I like Crystal too. Crystal Pepsi was my jam.
Was it anyone's jam? Come on now.
Hey, listen, we brought it back for a hot second.
That and OK Soda, that was my go-tos.
I don't even know what that is. I think Todd just made that up.
Wait, you don't remember OK Soda? There was like a phone line. There was literally a phone line to dial. It was like 1-800-OK Soda. You don't remember?
I like how Brennan's camera froze.
I was gonna call attention to it before I reset it. I wanted to make sure you saw it. That my camera froze that way because it was very funny.
I thought that was just your expression for a long time. It's like, no, it froze.
It froze when Todd said he liked Crystal Pepsi. I was like, huh? Like, really? That's a real thing? And also joining us tonight, of course, is the Fortnite father himself, Mr. whatever Todd's name is. Todd Garrett.
That's me. It's getting scary.
We get a nice little easy breezy show for you tonight. We're going to talk about our post-PAX East adventures, some of the stuff we played, some of our best in show winners. Wow, my camera just wants to shit the bed for the rest of this night, apparently. We will get into the stuff we played, some of the things we got into while we were there at the show last weekend. Before we do that, this episode, of course, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area, or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. So thank you to Goodnight Fatty and Good Morning Chubby for sponsoring episode 516 of the Pass the Controller podcast. Other quick housekeeping things. Obviously, again, with PAX falling at the end of the month, last month, the PTC Movie Club has been pushed a little bit, and it is obviously not tonight either. So if you want to hear us chat about Mickey 17, that'll happen hopefully some point in April. And I believe the next movie is my pick, and I am definitely not picking the movie right now. So apologies, there'll be a push on that. But the movies are just going to be a little bit moved around just with some stuff we had going on, obviously, with PAX East. So apologies if you were really looking forward to our Mickey 17 conversation, but that'll be sometime in the coming weeks. I think that'll do it for housekeeping. I think we can just keep it right moving into the show. So before we get into our best of PAX East winners, I think we should chat a little bit just about the rest of the show, other things we played, about how Todd, who's put in, I don't know, probably hundreds of hours into Pokopia at this point, took his first appointment of the weekend by playing Pokopia at PAX East. Todd, how was Pokopia at PAX East?
So like when they brought me over, they were like trying to talk to me, and I just put my hand in her face and go, "I'm okay." And fucking
I'm sorry.
no, but she like came over to me.
I know what I'm doing.
He said, I know more than you.
So when she came over to me, though, she's like, "Have you played before?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've tried it." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then she just stepped back, and I'm like, just doing everything.
Todd's like building a whole fucking functioning, like he's got electricity
got the water working.
Yeah.
Did you play it at all by any chance to get the pin?
I don't want to talk about it. I wanted to play it for the pin, but it wasn't
So
really.
I'm glad you didn't, dude. There's a huge spoiler in it, which I was shocked to see, about like a power you get endgame, and I was like, oh, weird. I didn't know this would be here.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think the powers are maybe like spoilery. I just don't know a lot about additional things in the game that I haven't reached yet, so I'm fine with like not having that stuff spoiled for me. If it got if it happened, I wouldn't have been a big deal. I do wish I got that Ditto pin though, because that Ditto pin was pretty dope.
I just sold it for $100 on eBay.
Look at this guy. While you were doing that though, Mike and I did get a chance to play Pokemon Champions, which is not out yet.
I wanted to play that too. I'm kind of mad I didn't.
Mike, what did you think about Pokemon Champions? As someone who I don't believe is a big like Pokemon like battler type of guy.
I mean,
you got mopped. We start there.
I got mopped. I didn't get any
show, Ken Shepard.
I didn't get any assistance really from the workers there. I was on the wrong screen entirely. They're like, "All right, get ready to press A to like join matchmaking." I'm like, bro, I had to like look around and figure out like how I'm supposed to get to where they were already on the other side of my screen.
Mike booted up Pokopia somehow. He was like in a different game.
I was in a different game entirely. And then I just kind of pressed buttons and allowed Ken, who his pre-made team had like all his favorite Pokemon in it already. Like It
was funny that Ken had Raichu on his squad. Like that's.
Yeah. So all that being said, hey, 3D battling Pokemon.
It's always a good time.
That was the thing. That was a thing I always wanted several decades ago.
It's always a good time. I will say, so like the way that they had this set up was you were playing against the person on the other side. So it was like you were playing against Ken, I was playing against Jesse, friend of the show. Jesse was standing next to you on your side. Ken was standing next to me on my side. When Ken was like mopping the floor with you, Mike, at one point I think the guy said to. Like the person working there said to Ken, like, "Oh, you seem like you've played Pokemon before." And Ken was like, "Yeah, I fucking played every fucking game. I'll rock this dude right now." He didn't say that, but something along those lines. And it was very funny to me that the guy was like, "This guy knows what the fuck he's doing."
Yeah, that guy that was talking to Ken was supposed to be talking to me too. He did not.
Oh, there was no one on your side at all?
There was the guy because I was second from the end, right? So like there was a guy at the end that was talking to the guy next to me.
Okay.
And then I don't know if Jesse had anybody talking to him.
I think he did, maybe not. I don't know. Jesse and I had a good couple of rounds. We went back and forth a few times.
What'd you think of the game? Because I'm actually kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it's free when it comes out. So if like you're interested in playing it, you can just kind of hop in and check it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to download it.
I believe the plan with this game is to basically funnel all of like the competitive play into it. So like I want to say when like the next Pokemon Worlds comes up, like all of the game like tournament stuff is going to be held through Champions. So you can move all of your stuff from other games into Pokemon Home and then push them out to Champions, I believe is how this is going to function. So it being kind of like the hub for all of that, and it's going to have mobile support too, so like you don't necessarily have to have a Switch to play it. I think it's going to probably just grow the competitive Pokemon scene a little bit more, but also I think it just gives like a nice kind of landing point for everyone to kind of be competing in the same, like everything's the same. Like it's like you might be pulling your Pokemon from different games, but like everything kind of gets equalized and put into this format. I think it's a good way forward for like the competitive scene to kind of flourish. And then my camera just completely died. The other thing too is that I'm curious if it is going to like affect eventually how the mainline games maybe like focus on battling. Like I wonder if this having like a separate competitive element elsewhere might change maybe like with Wind and Waves, like how much battling competitively is like important to that game itself. So definitely curious to see how it kind of like changes the grander Pokemon scene outside of all of the games, but it was fun. I mean, it being free is great. I think if it had a price tag, it might be a different conversation for me, but it being free and having just like the ability to import your Pokemon squads and whatever from other games, I think is kind of cool. It'll have its own stuff too. I think you can like, similar to Pokemon Stadium and Coliseum of the previous Pokemon eras, you'll be able to like rental teams and like be able to do stuff within the game itself. But I think the real like purpose and kind of meat of that game is to be putting your own Pokemon in there and kind of going from there. So I mean, I'm downloading it when it comes out, so I'll be looking forward to that. It will be a good time. Other things that we got the chance to play and check out.
Wait, I didn't get to talk about the other game I played.
Oh yeah.
The Mario Wonder DLC.
Oh yeah, you did play. What is it called? Meetup in Bella Bell Park. What is it actually called?
Yeah, it's something. It's something It's Bella Bell Park. It's like tons of like mini games that you can play with like couch co-op and everything. I just want to talk about the guy that was there with me because you're supposed to go and play with like someone else, and they're like, "Oh, if you don't have someone, one of the guys will play with you." And the dude was like, did not want to play with me, and he was just like waiting and raising his thing, trying to get someone else. Finally, after me standing there for 5 minutes, he's like, "All right, well, I guess I'll just play." And this motherfucker was letting me win half the time. And I wanted to like punch this dude. I'm like, "Can you just play real?" Like this dude was like literally like
real.
Dude, this dude was literally like falling to give me the advantage on purpose. And it wasn't like, "Oh, that was a mistake." It was like very clear that like he was like letting me win. And I'm like, "What is this? What do I look like, a little baby?"
Yes. Yeah.
All all this just to get some pins for the kids.
Well, you got the pins, didn't you? Was it fun though?
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling
Yeah, no,
about
honestly,
this?
I think I would like to play it with the kids, I think. I mean, I don't know. It's not something I feel like I need to get. I liked Wonder. I'm not like a diehard Wonder guy. Like I tried to actually go back to Wonder recently. I don't know. I don't necessarily like the structure of Wonder. Like how you go from level to level. I wish it was just more clear cut. I like the levels themselves, but I don't like,
The overworld is too much for you. It's very, very
it's
basic.
not too much. It's just like I just don't like it. I don't like the way it's like set up.
Sure.
I don't know why Brendan's so upset about this.
It's just a weird gripe to have with the game. I mean, people don't like Wonder, which I also think is crazy. I think Wonder is like
really?
super solid. I think Wonder's great. I mean, I think it's better than most of like the new Super Mario Brothers games, which I also don't dislike, but I feel like Wonder is like a step above those games, which I think I don't know. I think a lot of people had issues with Wonder. I enjoyed my time with that. Bella Bell Park looks interesting. I just don't know if I want to spend money on that.
Right.
That's
kind of where I'm at.
I also heard somebody else at PAX describe it as, I won't out this person, but they described it as shitty Mario Party, and I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know if that's.
I can get that. I can understand that. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I totally get it.
Yeah. So I mean, I haven't played it, so I don't have an opinion on it, but
So like one of the things was like I was the block maker, so like he'd be the character, and the map would be moving, and I'd have to keep on making blocks for him to jump on to make it through the level. That was like one of the mini games.
Mm-hmm.
Just little stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
and then the other one was like whoever can get the most coins, So it was very basic kind of games.
Yeah.
I'm sure the kids would like it, like as far as like us being older and everything. Maybe not.
I mean, I like that type of multiplayer Mario stuff. Like I don't know. I'd have to just play it, I guess, to have a better thought on it. I mean, I shouldn't have any thoughts on it. I didn't play it, but
I will say graphically, I don't know if like the new texture pack they put in there, it looked fucking phenomenal. Like the whatever the upgrade they put on it was.
yeah, I believe that it looks better on the Switch too. I'm sure that was part of the upgrade path there. Navi just burst through the door and was like staring at me like, yeah, I'm gonna open the door right now. What's up? Okay. Cool. I mean, another game that Mike got the chance to put some hands-on time with was the Marvel Maximum Collection, which is out now. Which is a new collection of Marvel games that includes the X-Men arcade game, which is pretty dope, the 6-player big machine, Captain America and the Avengers, Spider-Man, Venom, Maximum Carnage, Venom, Spider-Man, Separation Anxiety, Spider-Man, X-Men Arcade's Revenge, Silver Surfer. Some of the big features of that are the X-Men arcade game. You can play online with up to 6 people, and it has rollback netcode. Which I think is kind of fun because, I don't know, I feel like that game is at its best when you're playing with 6 people.
Does it have the Sega Genesis game on it?
What Sega Genesis game?
What is it called?
I mean, I just named all the games that are on it, so I...
Yeah, I know, that's what I was trying to like... Let me see.
Well, while Todd is figuring that
It
out...
would be called... It's called X-Men. That's it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's any of these. You had a chance to play a little bit of it, Mike. Obviously, it has some of the other features of like one of these collections with like, rewind and pausing and save states and stuff like that. What did you? How did you feel about it? You played what? You played the Captain America and Avengers game.
Yeah,
which I think that and Silver Surfer are the only 2 games on this collection that I never have played before. I had Maximum Carnage when I was a kid, and I don't think I ever had Separation Anxiety, but I definitely either rented it a lot or borrowed it from a friend a lot. Because those 2 games I definitely played a lot of, and obviously the X-Men 6-player arcade machine.
I remember playing either or maybe both Maximum Carnage and maybe Separation Anxiety. I don't know how I would have played it because I don't think I owned an SNES.
Maximum Carnage and Separation were on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, I believe.
I had a Genesis, but I think I owned one game on the Genesis. I must have been over someone else's house that had the games, and I played it there. It was another side-scrolly fighty game. I have no nostalgia for the game that I picked, so...
Yeah, again, I was confused why you picked the Captain America and Avengers game. Was it because we were watching that one guy just hum the shield off a Sentinel for...
It was because it was one of, like I said, I know I had some experience with
the other ones,
like the other games. Yeah. So I was like, all right, let me just pick up one that I haven't seen before.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember about the game. All I remember specifically is that at some point when I was trying to skip through like the beginning cutscenes, I got to a spot where you're supposed to pick your characters. And the game thought I was playing 2-player, and long story short, I was stuck playing as 2 characters at once with the controller connected to both of them.
I mean, that sounds like a skill issue. I don't know what you did there.
So
you probably could have just reset or something. I mean, we were talking in the appointment we were having a conversation too, so I wasn't like fully locked into the game. So I didn't know that you had that going on.
No, I was stuck playing as Captain America and Vision at the same time. So every time I hit jump, they would both jump, or if I hit attack, they'd both attack. So
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like these types of collections because, like, again, X-Men the arcade game, classic. Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety. I don't know if those are classics, but like they have nostalgia. I have nostalgia for them. But like again, those two other games, the Silver Surfer game, the Captain America game, and then I don't Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I have no idea if I've played that or not. I'd have to see the cover of the original game. Um, like those are just bonuses to me. Like I'll probably scoop this up at some point because I would like to play those other three games. So those other three things that I've never played are just like little bonuses that I like when these collections have like the bigger ones and then some of the more obscure games in those series because I think it just like again, there are plenty of people that probably have nostalgia for those games, but I think those other three I mentioned are probably the more popular ones. So having those other more ancillary ones available as well, I think is like a nice little addition for the people that may be just looking for the heavy hitters or the stuff they played when they were younger.
My issue with those games, though, I hate the borders that they put on them.
I mean, how do
Did
you?
the option to change it on that game?
Yeah, but do you like want to
Oh,
stretch out the pixels and like make it just this big
I don't
bulky
know. I
thing?
just don't
I
like it
don't.
because there's a couple other games I played like that they did recently. Like I don't know what it was, but they have those borders on it, and I don't know why it bothers me. It shouldn't
do you
bother me,
not
but
like the borders as in like they had to put it in the right aspect ratio, or do you not like
yes,
borders
yeah,
like
like the side, like it has like the two like
no,
side
no, no, I know what
pieces.
you're talking about, but like basically what I'm asking is do you not like when they have pictures and stuff in the borders, or you just not like the aspect ratio and they had to put the black bars
I
on
think
the
it's a little bit of both. I don't like.
okay.
I mean, I don't know what you want that solution to be. If they blew it out,
I
it
don't
would
either.
look fucking awful. Like it's in that aspect ratio because if they expanded it, it would look terrible. Like there's no
Yeah.
way around that. Like you're not playing on it unless you're playing on a CRTV. Like it's modern TVs are a different aspect ratio. They're just not. It's not going to look good. Um, so I don't know. That sounds like a skill issue. I can't help you there. Um, what else? What else we played? Mike, you had a chance to go hands on with hack and slash adventure game that had very like black and white manga style art style. Ghost Eater. How are you feeling about this game?
Ghost Eater was pretty fun. If I had to rank the three games that you just listed that apparently I played, I'd probably put that one at the top.
Okay. Okay.
If only because I think I just like hack and slashes, and it seemed like from the little dialogue that I actually stopped to read, it was an interesting story, or at least they gave the characters some personality and stuff. Like the demo tried to be fun, even with the text and stuff.
Yeah. No, it looked great. I watched you play it for a while. I mean, the visual style alone is what like kind of pulled me in. It was like it aside from just being in black and white, I think it did a little bit more with like the manga aesthetic to try to like I feel like those like dots that you'd see for like shading. You know what I'm talking about? Like the dot. Yeah, I feel like they did a lot of stuff like that. Like they did interesting stylistic choices that I think made it look more like a manga that as opposed to just being like it's an anime art style in black and white. Like I think they made stylistic choices to try to also make it look like, you know, it was shaded as a comic book page and not
Right.
just, you know, black and white. You look like you're gonna say something. No, okay.
No, I was gonna say yeah, it was fun. I'm trying to remember. The guy told me after I was done playing, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna try and make this demo shorter for the next day because like I was sitting there for a while just playing through it, and I know that I caught parts of the game where it said specifically like, "Hey, this is a demo. Do you want to just skip past this part so we can go to the next thing?" I would say yes.
Yeah.
So the fact that he said, "I'm going to make this shorter," makes me think he put a lot into this demo.
Yeah, no, there was a lot. I mean, I walked away for a few different moments to take some pictures of stuff that we for other things, and I came back. I'm like, well, Mike's still in this, and there were like some of the people that were also at the other stations next to you were also in it still. I'm like, this is a pretty beefy demo, but it looked good. I mean, was the combat feel good? Like, did the movement feel good? Because I didn't actually play it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about things that actually I did in the game. Yeah, I mean, enough that I felt like I was marginally competent with what I was doing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it looked interesting. It's definitely one I'm gonna keep an eye on. I don't believe it has a release date yet, but there is a Steam page, so definitely, if this sounds interesting, I would go look up Ghost Eater, being developed by Green Bullet and published by Self. I don't know if that's a thing or if that's just means they're self-publishing it. But give that a wish list. Check it out. I think it looks really interesting. Something I'm gonna keep my eyes on for sure. I had a chance to check out Brigandine Abyss, which is a new game coming from NIS America, and or I guess NIS, they, it is a successor to a PS1 tactical RPG game that I had never played, but I do like a good tactical RPG, and this, aside from this looking good, it has a lot of people that have worked on other series that I enjoy, most importantly Fire Emblem. So that stuff kind of alone, I was like, oh, this is definitely something I want to check out. So I got a chance to go hands-on with that, and it wasn't a bad PAX East demo, but it is definitely a hard game, I think, to demo at a place like that, because it kind of throws you into a battle, and there are a lot of systems that you need to learn right away to understand how to play the game. And it does a good job of walking you through that, but I could definitely see like somebody who's maybe not fully into that type of game or doesn't play a lot of those types of games, it might being a lot to digest quickly. Thankfully, like the person who handled my session with me was also pretty helpful with like explaining stuff quicker, and like, if I had questions about stuff, answering them pretty quickly. But the game was great. Like, it's definitely something I could see myself playing. It's definitely something I could see myself sinking a lot of time into. It does some interesting things. So like your units on the battlefield are broken up into groups. So it was like I had group A, group B, group C, sort of the enemies, and like as we're moving our units around and like planning attack and like moving through our rotations of turns, one of the interesting things that I liked about it was in each group there was like a hero character that was like the hero of group A, hero of group B, hero of group C. And if you were to take that unit out, it would then make the rest of the units of that group also disperse and like leave the battlefield. So you could try to like take out the hero of that group and like completely knock out C by killing one character. Obviously, the hero character is a little bit stronger, has some different abilities that maybe some of the other units don't have. So it is a risk reward type thing. It is a trying to balance strategy with what you can handle in the battlefield. But I like that a lot because I tried to use that to my advantage when I could. And in my session, like I went right for on the top right of the map. I like took my C unit to take out their C unit's hero and like was very successful in dispatching them quickly. So it like gave me a very early advantage for the rest of the battle to like then move my C unit onto the other parts of the battlefield to kind of help assist against the other two. So really a lot going on. Like there's a lot more systems and things outside of that. I believe there are 6 story paths in the game too, based on different factions in that world that leads me to believe there's a lot of replayability if you want to play all 6 story paths. I liked what I played a lot. It definitely seems like something I'm going to keep an eye on and probably end up sinking too much time into it later this year. I believe it's planned for 2026. I don't think it has a hard release date, but it should be this year. But super interesting, really crunchy tactile RPG that I think is going to have a lot for people that are looking for that style of game. I think it's going to be a very, very rewarding experience for people who like that style of game. The other thing that I played before we get into our best of PAX East stuff was a little game called Mina the Hollower. And I won't talk too much about what I saw. So I did get to play a bigger portion of that game than I've played previously. If we had not given this game an award in the past already, I would have absolutely given it an award this past week because it's not only one of my most anticipated of the year, it was definitely one of the best things I played at PAX. Had a great time sitting down with one of the one of the top dogs at Yacht Club, Sean Velasco, who has also been on the show before for Shovel Knight back on episode 31. Him and Nick joined us back in the day. They're our first guest on the podcast. So we had a great conversation. Cam was also there, so it was me, Cam, friend of the show, and Sean. I guess, they've been on the show, so we'll call him friend of the show. So we had a great time talking about Shovel Knight, talking about Mina the Hollower, talking about Yacht Club in 2026 and beyond, and then playing a lot of that game. And what I will just continue to say is Mina the Hollower feels like what you would hope it would, for as good as that team is at making a game like Shovel Knight, which is this side-scroller, kind of a precision platformer like a Mega Man, where Mina is more of like a top-down Zelda Game Boy style adventure game with, on the surface, it looks like a Game Boy game, but there's just so much more depth to what is actually there, with burrowing under the ground and the movement you have with that, the different weapon styles that offer different types of combat, enemy patterns that feel kind of like a Dark Souls game. There's just so much going on that once you get your hands on that thing, it is absolutely, I think, going to impress and delight. It's way beefier than I thought it was for as far as the length of the game. I believe they said it was somewhere around 20 to 30 hours, which I was not expecting it to be that long. But everything that I had played, we had got a chance to play a little bit deeper into the game and see some more of the hub world and other parts of that game that we previously did not get to see. And it feels alive. It feels funny. It has that same charm that you would expect from a Shovel Knight Yacht Club game. It has the same incredible music that you'd expect from them, and the gameplay it is as tight as ever. Once you get kind of used to how you burrow and move and jump and do all these things and attack, once you get in that flow state, I'm telling you, it's just something about how burrowing and hopping out of the ground and jumping over gaps and solving puzzles, and it feels good. It's hitting all the right buttons for me. I cannot wait for that game. I hope that it comes out soon. I hope that people enjoy it when it comes out, because it looks and feels great. And it's definitely, if these little brief sessions I've had with the game so far over the last few years are any sign, we're in for a fucking treat. It feels like they have another Shovel Knight on their hands. It feels like they captured lightning in the bottle somehow again. It feels like if there's anyone that knows how to take retro aesthetic homage to older games and make them feel modern and new but look old, I don't think there's anyone else doing it quite as well as they are, and it shows here, and I'm excited for it. It's definitely remaining one of my most anticipated, if not my most anticipated, of this year. So hats off to the Yacht Club team. Looking forward to more Mina the Hollower. But that'll bring us into what our best of PAX East award winners were. So we can start with one of Mike's top picks, which was Backyard Baseball. Mike, how are you feeling about the old Backyard Baseball situation?
Nostalgia is a powerful drug. It's a crazy drug.
That it is. Feels good to be back, though. Feels good to be back in the yard. Hitting some balls.
I would have liked to have played an actual
hitting some dingers
game opposed to
what was it,
just
Home Run Derby?
Yeah, Home Run Derby. But that being said, game looks great.
Looks great, feels great. It looks like it's going to be a blast. It looks like there's a lot of... I think my biggest takeaway from talking to them and watching you guys play was it seems like there's a lot of love being poured into the game. It seems like there's a lot of attention to what made the older games great and why this game deserves to come back. And I think that gets me excited more than anything, especially as someone who doesn't really have a history with Backyard Baseball. I know you and Dom do. Todd, I don't even know if Todd knows what a computer is.
Yeah, Todd was well into his 50s when that game came out.
Yeah, when did that game actually come out? Is it a really old game? Or?
I mean, hold on a second. I don't know.
I mean, you were probably in college when it came out, Todd.
I don't know if this disc. Oh wait, never mind. This is Desktop Survivors. I definitely have.
Yes, you definitely bought a physical copy of the game somewhere.
I didn't. Yeah, I've got a physical copy
I
somewhere.
mean,
I,
it's
don't know.
I believe it's from the early '90s or like somewhere in the '90s. Like it, I don't.
I'd say late '90s.
Late '90s. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really play a lot of games that were computer, like PC games. So this was something that was not really on my radar. I know they had a DS game, I think, at some point. I don't know if they had other console or handheld versions, but yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's definitely something I'm going to check out when it comes out. It looks fun. I love baseball, so, sign me up. But that looked great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed your time with it. Another one that we all enjoyed was Rain 98, which is a visual novel game that has a lot of additional. I think it has more interactive elements than you'd maybe expect from most visual novels. Like there's a lot of mini game type stuff. Talking to the developers, it seems like there's a lot more of that type of stuff in the game too, to kind of break up some of the. I think just break up some of the flow of what you'd expect from a more of that genre. I feel like is very point and click and reading heavy. So this, I think, has a lot more other things going on to kind of break some of that flow up. Real dark. I think just in the brief moment you get in that game, I feel like it deals with some heavy topics. Like I don't think we need to go too deep into it unless you want to talk about it, Mike. But like there's like self-harm stuff kind of right off the bat in the slice of this game that we played. There's some interesting topics just about like the world and how you feel in that space, and the visuals are phenomenal. The music and sound design so far in that game were fantastic. Just like really kind of pulls you in and puts you in this space in a very I feel like aggressive it sounds like a negative word to use, but like it is kind of like in an aggressive way. Like it kind of pulls you in. Because I watched Dom play it, and then I watched you play it, and I felt like even just from over the shoulder, I was like kind of engrossed in what was going on. I mean, I don't know if you want to speak more to it since you put a lot more time into the game itself.
I mean, don't ask me personally, because that was so apparently you didn't see it. Like I was dozing off, not because the game was boring, but it was so dialogue heavy, and I was so tired that the fact that I had to sit down, I was just clicking through buttons. So that's why when you guys were like asking me like what part I was at, I was like, no, I'm not there yet. And you guys were like waiting for my reaction. And the only reason why I perked up is because like, oh, I can do something besides just click through dialogue. I was like, oh, okay. All right, something's happening again. So the game, don't get me wrong, the game was good, but I was not in the right mind space to be sitting there playing a VN.
That's fair, I guess. Well, Dom really enjoyed it. Dom is not here right now, so Dom can't talk more to it. But I enjoyed watching both of you play it. I think the game looks amazing. I think it has a story that may be a little bit darker than I typically like to.
The premise was entertaining enough. Yeah. That I'll say.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's heavily inspired by the 90s. Like it is trying to evoke 90s Japan. It is trying to evoke, things that were popular in the 90s. Like it is definitely influenced by things like Evangelion, among other like anime of that era. So if you like those types of things, I think it captures that stuff pretty well in the slice that we played, and I think it seems like they're really kind of all in on telling this story that revolves around, everything is shit, but the 90s felt like something different, even though it kind of was also shit, and dealing with like those mental gymnastics of, is it worth it to be like, is it worth it to go on knowing that like it's always going to be shit? I don't know.
And the answer is obviously no. At all.
So definitely, again, a little bit on the darker side. There's definitely some heavy tones in that game. I expect that to kind of run throughout the game based on what I know of kind of the rest of the story of that game, talking to the developers. But definitely one to check out. I'm not usually personally a visual novel person. Like, it has to be something that really clicks with me, or have a very specific gameplay loop or story element that I like am kind of engrossed by, and this one seems to have a lot of those boxes checked for me that I think might be one of the rare visual novels that I'm like, yep, nope, I'm in, I'm ready to go. So definitely one to keep an eye on. I don't know if there is an actual release date yet for Rain 98. Let me pull up the Steam page. 2026. So yeah, like, again, with all these games, if any of these games sound interesting, definitely make sure you're wishlisting them on Steam. It's very helpful for all of them to have this, have those wish lists. That helps them a lot in the process of getting discovered and more people finding the game and being successful on storefronts like Steam and whatnot. So, I'm trying to see now that I'm on the Steam page. I think the other kind of thing with this too is that, like, it's supposed to also, the characters also feel this way, but I think it's also supposed to evoke like similar feelings about how, like, when Y2K was happening, that like kind of things are ending with the turn of the millennium. I think that's like another one of like the major story kind of tones of this game. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I missed on this page that might be worth mentioning. But yeah, no, it's great, and the visuals are fantastic. Like, the art is great. Like, they are knocking it out of the park with this game. Another one that we both got to play that Todd's really mad he didn't get to play, and I'm really happy I got to play, but most of you, including Todd, have the chance to play it, I think in 2 weeks from now-ish, is Replaced, which is fucking real good. I don't know, you played a little bit less than I did, Mike. I played the entirety of what that demo had to offer, but I think I've heard other people describe it this way at PAX, and I think it is like a very easy kind of overall app description. Is like, it's kind of like a side-scrolling Arkham, at least in terms of like the combat kind of feels that kind of flowy. But it's like the art design of this game, phenomenal. The aesthetic of this game, just like the environment, the mood, everything about it is just really well done. The way that the game moves as you're playing it, both in combat or just platforming or puzzle solving or just like interacting with lore things you can pick up and read, and how like story beats change. The camera zooms in like really dynamic angles. Like, stuff is very fluid and moving a lot, and I think that it really does a lot of work for this game to like have that very dynamic action and combat and storytelling all kind of blending together. It's like really, really well done. Like, when you're doing like when you like counter an enemy attack and like go in for like a one-hit combo kill or something, and like the camera zooms in and it like kind of angles itself a little bit, and you just like blow this dude's head off. It's like really, really powerful. When you like pick up a lore piece and it like zooms in quick, and it's like your hand on like a little scrolly like phone type thing, like just little touches like that all kind of just really, really work for that game. I think it is trying to capture a very specific vibe, and it is fucking knocking it out of the park. Like, it is insane. Like, Todd, you would have lost your mind playing this game. I think you would have been so
I've been waiting
happy.
for this game
I
for
know.
like 6 years. It's like, and Brenden, I didn't realize it was a Ukraine developer, so that would all make sense. But like, when they announced the Series X, this was like part of the announcements of games that were coming out, and like, I just gave up all hope on it, and then all of a sudden, it's fucking coming out April 14th.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be great. I'm very, very
Hades 2 and Replaced come out on April 14th and on Game Pass, which is fucking just so Game Pass is so good for this stuff.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of that. It was really good. Definitely a highlight of the show for me. Really, really just fantastic game there. Another big dog from the show that I really enjoyed was Kiln. Mike also got a chance to play this. This one is the 4v4 pottery sort of squad based multiplayer game from Double Fine that is another one I think is also coming out soon. It's coming out this month, I believe. Let me see. I believe it's coming out soon. Kiln. I guess
I think it's the end of the month, maybe.
I guess typing in Kiln is not helpful when it's just a thing. April 23rd. But yeah, just like online multiplayer pottery game where you go in and you're making your own type of like pot or like pottery item that is your character, that depending on like how you make it is gonna be dependent on like what type of moves it has, its other stats like speed and durability and health, how much water it can carry, like all of these things like matter in the actual gameplay too, because obviously if you're like a bigger, beefier pot, you might have higher attack and like more health and be able to carry more water, but you're probably going to be slower and be more vulnerable to attacks. Whereas if you're smaller, you can carry less water. You might not have higher damage, but like you might be able to just kind of scoot around a little bit. I don't know what you made, Mike, because we were on opposite sides, but I made like a very small little guy that was like, I was zipping around. Like I was just like a water machine. I was in and out, rolling around, hiding from everybody and just like destroying.
I don't think we actually played together.
What's up?
I said I don't think we actually played together because I remember being behind you taking pictures of your thing. Unless we played,
we didn't play together. But when you were playing, you were on the other side, so I didn't see what you actually made.
Okay.
But I made just a little guy that was just zipping around, and I was having a fucking blast. I was the MVP in my match. I went bonkers. I don't think I died once. Like I was like pro kill. I was all in. Like that one session, that one multiplayer match. Absolutely, I was gonna play this game anyway, but that made me like, oh no, like this is gonna be my personality when it comes out, for at least for a little bit. The whole goal is you're trying to extinguish the other team's kiln, so you are like going over to their side with water, trying to put their fire out. They're obviously trying to do the same thing. You can choose to be offensive and do that. You can choose to be defensive and guard yours. You can choose to go in the middle and try to like, fight the other pottery and stop them. But yeah, just a real fun time. Like I could absolutely see a bunch of us getting on that together and just having a fucking ball. I cannot wait for this game. It was, I like, part of me wanted to play it a second time where we were there. I had so much of a good time with it. I don't know how you felt playing it, Mike, in your match, but
full disclosure, I did not know what the game was. So I made my pot and I ended up on the map. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So it was only after that I found out, oh, we had the two kilns and I was supposed to like put out one and protect mine. I didn't know. I was just kind of floating around, spraying water, what I assume was the enemy team. I don't think that helped anybody. That's why we lost.
Okay. Mike was throwing.
But I was throwing hard. But, at the end of the day, I made a nice pot.
Did you make a pot? Did you just make like a pot?
I didn't make anything as small as yours, but I don't think I made the jug. I think I made whatever was like in the middle.
Like a medium-sized jug?
A medium size, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's great. Like there's a lot of customization options. I believe you can like save your customizations and like have your pots that you've made before that you want to keep like ready to go off of the shelf if you want to like keep one around. But super fun, super cute. Like I definitely think it is a fun party game. I'm hoping it has a solid player base when it comes out and sticks around for a little bit because I had a great time playing it and I would love to play that for a bit, pop in and out of that. The last of our best of award winners this year was an indie game that a lot of people will probably never get the chance to play, which is kind of crazy. It is a game called Throwback, Jai-Alai Heroes, which the reason why most of you or a lot of you, I mean, hopefully not, hopefully that changes, but I think a lot of people will not be able to play this game because it is an arcade cabinet exclusive. They don't plan on putting this out on like storefronts anywhere. It is just a physical machine. I connected them with BitBar. I am trying to get a machine at BitBar because I would love to play this game again. So that might happen at some point, but basically Jai-Alai is a real sport that exists that is like a mix between like racquetball and squash and maybe some other elements where you're throwing a ball off a wall and you need to, when you throw it off the wall, the other person needs to catch it and throw it back, or you score, and there's other rules and stuff like that. But it was just like a fast, frenetic, really good time. Like, if it was available on a platform, I would be buying it immediately if it was there. I do like the idea of it being an arcade cabinet because I do think it brings out a specific type of competition with like being shoulder to shoulder with somebody who is like also trying to destroy you in this fast-paced thing. Mike was the victor in our match. I did not fare well against Mr. Martini Mike over here. How did you feel about this game, Mike?
I did really enjoy it. It was, yeah, you don't see enough games, I guess, focus their efforts entirely on being an arcade cabinet. So there was that element of, playing at a cabinet, but also I just liked the art style, and
Art style was great.
It was an easy enough concept to grasp. Bounce the ball off the wall, have it hit the ground once, and then the other person needs to grab it, or else
you score.
they lose the point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you score.
And there's like the art style's fantastic. I love like the kind of 80s 90s like retro vibe of it. Like looks like those, I don't know, like shapes and designs from like those cups, and like I don't know, feels like Saved by the Bell. I don't know how else to describe it. Like
Yeah, I mean, it was like I think you had compared it to Windjammers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. Windjammers. Yeah.
Windjammers, but slightly closer to like 8-bit or 16. I think 8.
Mm.
And yeah, having like little, squat little guys.
Yeah, all that stuff is great. Like this team, I believe the sport is also, I don't know if it originated in Florida or if it's just big in Florida, but I believe the team is also from Florida.
I want to say it's big in Florida. I could have sworn it was a Brazilian sport.
That could also be true. But all of the levels were like different Florida cities that you could choose to go to, which changed the arena a little bit. In talking to them a little bit more, the team at Astro Crow, we got the basic mechanics laid out for us of like what the game is, but they kind of like the idea of there are some deeper mechanics and like more competitive strategies and things you can do in the game that they kind of want people to figure out as they play the game more, and where it like just becomes more apparent. We're like, whoa, I can do that. Oh, I can do this, which I think is kind of interesting. It does kind of harken back to arcades of back in the day, where it was like before you had the ability to just like Google a move set for a fighting game, you might have to like watch someone else play and be like, how the fuck did they do that? And learn through osmosis or learn from trial and error. So I do like that there's some of that kind of hidden and baked in there. Obviously, if this game ever took off, like some of that strategies and things would just become apparent online, so that wouldn't always maybe be a thing. But I do like that there's some of that kind of like in the DNA of the game and how they're trying to roll the game out. So I hope it's successful. I hope that a lot of places grab this that, have either just like some arcade cabinets in their establishment or arcade bars or whatever it may be. I think it was such a fun time. I would absolutely be tossing a bunch of coins into this if it was at BitBar or some other place close to us that we could play it on a regular basis. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely a highlight for me. It was such a unique experience to like walk up to PAX Rising and see a brightly colored arcade cabinet in there and be like, what is this? I need to check this out. So hopefully it does well, because I would love to see more stuff like this, and I would love to see this game itself come up to a place near us. If you go to their website, if you're interested in trying to find a cabinet, if you go to their website, you can actually see a map of where they currently have machines, and it looks like there's a decent amount in Florida. It looks like there's Miami, a couple near Orlando, one near Jacksonville. So if you're in the Florida area, it seems like you might have some luck doing that. Looks like there's one in or near Columbus, Ohio right now. Looks like there's one in Atlanta.
Atlanta, not.
No, not. It's in Atlanta, Illinois.
Right.
So there's one over there. I'm trying to see if there. And it looks like there's at least one or two
Yeah.
in Cali. So there's some sprinkled around the U.S. now. I believe the one that was up here at PAX did get sold somewhere though. I just don't know if it went to BitBar. So there should be one in or near Massachusetts soon. So keep an eye on that. But if this sounds interesting to you and you have a arcade bar near you or some other establishment, have them reach out and see if they want to get one of these, because it does look like it is a great time. It is a great time, but it looks like it would be a great time if it was in more places. That's for sure. But those were our best of PAX East and some of the other things we had a chance to play. I mean, obviously we had a lot of other stuff going on at PAX. It was great to see a lot of friends of the show and other friends, extended family of the show. The panels and whatnot. It was a good time. It was a good PAX. I don't know how you feeling about it, Mike, but it was a good PAX for me.
It was a good PAX. I don't remember truly what actually happened. I know we just talked about it, but I do think I might have blacked out the entire weekend.
Well, I mean, we did have a couple of martinis. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, you had a couple of martinis.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good PAX. PAX is always great. PAX feels like it's weird. PAX feels like coming home, even though we live here. It feels like someone. I don't know if it was Cam or someone had described PAX as like feels like a house party. Like feels like a house party, and like some of the other events we go to feel like more. I don't know, more like professional type events. And not that PAX is not a professional event, but I think just like the amount of people that come and like the people that we all like that we get to see that we don't get to see often in person, it just feels like a lot of like good energy, good vibes, after hours hangs, stuff like that. It just someone described it as a house party, and that's definitely how it feels. Like SGF is great. I love SGF. SGF doesn't feel like a house party. PAX feels like a house party.
Yeah. Todd, what are your thoughts?
I thought that when I walked into PAX this year, year after year, this was like the most barren it looked ever.
It is definitely more spaced out, which I
Yeah,
do enjoy. That
less
there's some bigger like walkway areas on the show floor where it's not so cramped. But I don't think you're incorrect. I think a lot of people kind of that we talk to feel a similar sentiment, that it felt like there was a lot of space.
It's a lot of space.
Yeah.
I think that was because there were some usual places that weren't there this year.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some bigger things that weren't there. It also just felt like even some of the indie areas, which I do love. Like I love PAX for the indie stuff. Like it's nice to see Nintendo and other big things there. But I also just like to walk the indie rows and like look for stuff and try to find stuff that looks interesting. But it even felt like some of that was pushed a little forward, and it felt like stores and tabletop stuff was pushed even further up than normal. So it did feel like the video game side of the show this year was like a little lacking.
Do they usually have like people trying to like sell you shit on the floor too? Because I felt like there was more of that this year.
Stores? Yes.
Yeah, well, they do, because I don't remember ever seeing because like some of the stores were like the biggest parts of the floor. Where like the chair at the store, there was like there was a couple other things I saw, like these beanbag chairs.
There's always stuff like that. It did feel like there were less larger booths in the video game specific areas, and some of those spaces were taken by shops or like computer.
Yeah, I feel like Replace should have had a bigger section, because I walked around. I would have fucking loved to have known it was even there.
You had to look for Bubsy, and then you would have found him.
Yeah, that's your fault for overlooking Bubsy. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely it had a different vibe to the show floor this year. I still had a great time. I mean, it is definitely I mean, PAX isn't going anywhere. They just extended their. Well, I don't know if I'm. Anyways, PAX is coming in later next year, which I'm excited for. Is it what, April? April, Mike?
Yeah, April something or something.
Yeah, so
Late
a little bit of a
April.
warmer April 22nd to the 25th. A nice warmer PAX, hopefully. So that'll be cool. I don't know. Any other closing thoughts on PAX before we wrap things up?
No.
Okay. Well, I think that'll do it for this week's episode 516 of the Pass Control Podcast. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to support the show, tons of ways to do that. Easiest way to do that, freest way to do that is just go to our website at passthecontroller.io. You can get linked out to everything we do, whether it's video game reviews, written content, the podcast, drink recipes, social media accounts, whatever it may be. You can get everything over there. If you want to watch the show live, we do record the show live most weeks at passthecontroller at twitch.tv/passthecontroller. If you can't catch the live show, but you still want to watch the show, you can just go to YouTube and type in Pass the Controller Podcast. We'll pop up over there. You can find our YouTube channel, which will also link you to other video content that we might do. Other than that, I think that's really it. I mean, it was a good show. I feel invigorated. It always feels good to see a lot of our peers, a lot of our friends. It kind of changes my mindset going into the rest of the year about just, it's always fun to see and meet new indie devs. It's always fun to see people that we know and love and call friends or just know from the internet and see what they have going on and just see everyone kind of succeeding and doing their thing. It always feels super invigorating. So feeling good after, still tired, still recovering from PAX. I don't have any con crud. I'm not feeling sick at all, but it is an exhausting, 4 or 5 days. So excited to have a weekend of a little bit of rest before getting back into what we need to do. But we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.